It always happens to me. I think it's because they're giving me a little rest. It just stopped, completely stopped. I don't understand it, so I now got to do a part two. God, sorry about that. Um, it just completely stopped. I don't know why. I don't know if it's spirit energy or they're just giving me a little rest in between, but it just completely stopped. How weird is that? So sorry about that, my lovies. So yeah, we were going into acceptance of moving forward. I've mostly not gonna. I can't even remember how I ended now because I just ramble on and on and on, don't I? But basically, be aware that during the acceptance stage, you can possibly go back to all of the earliest stages of grief. Only because if you're moving on, or perhaps you meet someone, or you get a new friend, or you're moving from the house that you shared with your loved one, that can take you back to the guilt, and then that will lead to the anger. So be aware of that. Be aware that they want you to move forward, as I said earlier, with the lady on her cruise, bless her heart, and realising that he just wanted the best for her. Okay. um, just very quickly, before we start the spiritual side of it, I just want to give you a few things to help you on a level if you're a non-believer. Okay. This is what I aim for in my book, because at the end of it, I do true stories of people that have embraced a spiritual reunion with their loved ones after they've lost them. And these are normal, everyday people that are not, naturally believers. There's skeptics and all sorts in there. And it kind of brings it home to you. And I do question anybody that reads my book afterwards if they still are, a stern skeptic. However, as I say, it's a dual process approach. So these are just a few of the tips that I'm going to give you for how to cope as soon as you've lost a loved one. You don't have to start these straight away. But any one of those, the ones I'm going to give you, they're going to help you. They're going to help you move forward, okay? Obviously, the first few days are going to be horrific. You've got to think about getting the death certificate, you've got to think about the funeral, you've got to think about clearing their stuff. All of this stuff is just a whole mind of chaos in your head. I've just been through it the last couple of months ago, and it just brings you into panic and anxiety, and you don't know how you're going to cope. The difference is I've got the spiritual knowledge and belief to know that everything will be looked after, and mine was. But with people that haven't got that, it's a whole new ball game. You're literally there on your own dealing with the worst part of your life ever that's going to stay with you forever. So it is difficult. However, these are just a couple of tips. Even if you take one on board, it's going to help you. And it's certainly proven that way with, me pass this on to people that are dealing with grief at the moment. And in the last few years, I've been doing this in respect of, rather than doing readings, helping people to cope and what to move forward with. The first one, obviously, do you remember I just said earlier about the seed of your mind is going to start everything kicking off. So if you decide to have a really crap day and you're going to stay in bed and just rock, okay, and your mind starts thinking about, perhaps seeing them dead in the hospital room, or, did they suffer, or what happened just before the road accident, all that kind of stuff will start in your mind, and it will start a round of events that leads to emotion, which will have you in complete distress, and then behaviour, and that behaviour is where things can go really wrong. Lots of people turn to drink, which is fine initially, but if you find that you are drinking month after month after month, then you are masking and numbing your pain. Some people, and so you need to get help for that. AA, Al-Anon if you're watching a partner go through it, or a friend go through it, or go to your GP. You will know if you're drinking and it's a problem. You'll know that. It won't take people to tell you that. You know that you're drinking to mask that pain. I did it when I lost my job in the police. I didn't lose it. I got retired. But I did it for a while. We've been done every single thing I'm going to talk to you about. I've been there and done it, and got a sweatshirt, matching earrings and t-shirt. So I know what it's like. You don't want to deal with it. So people, they start drinking. My mum did, God bless her heart. People start really weird behaviour. They might even try recreational drugs. They might start an affair. So to try and bang that behaviour into touch, we need to go back to the seed, which is the thought process, the initial thought that comes into your head. Mine was, from a personal experience with my mum, was seeing her passed on the bed after her soul had left. Oh my God, it's so different, because you don't have to be a medium to see when the soul's left the body. it suddenly changes into this shell. And I remember talking to my auntie, June, and I was looking at her, and I looked and saw these sparkling lights and thought, I'm not going to give it all the spiritual bit, because there's some people in the room, yeah, they know, you know, that we're a spiritual family, but some people in the room don't sit well with that, and I didn't want to share it, but I thought, she's going up. I'm like, okay, we need to leave in a minute. And then I looked back and looked at her, and the shock that racked through me was unbelievable, because it literally hit me like an adrenaline surge, like it does when you realise they've passed days after. Literally, the bolt that went through me, I was like, Jesus Christ, she looks gone, empty. It was just such a shocker. And that's when I said, right, we need to go. And when we did go, I said, I think Mum needs us to leave now, because I just couldn't bear to look, so I knew she wasn't there anymore. And I said, I think she needs us to leave, not mope around here crying. And then the light in the middle of the hospital, just one of the lights, there's loads of them on obviously, it shone so bright and started humming. Everybody looked up, was like, oh my God. And then it dimmed, went off, and then just came back to normal. Right? It was just totally impossible that would have happened on the same electrical unit of all the rest of the lights. I went, yep, looks like we need to go. And that was a sign to say, yeah, I've gone up now, just move on. So for me, I can do that, but you can't. So you need to go back to your thought processes. As soon as you start thinking about, you know, your loved one, it's normally going to be their time of passing or you seeing them past. Stop that thought right there. Stop it. The best way of doing it, without, you know, because it is hard to control your thoughts during that time, is what I did, right? And it works every single time. I don't know if there's a part of your brain that automatically sees the vision. But I basically had a photo of her on my phone, and I think I've put it on Facebook. Lots of people have seen it, of her sitting there in the car smiling with a white top on, holding Teddy, my dog, and I just love that photograph. It's such a beautiful photograph. And so every time I start getting that thought of her laying there, and then because that then led to the guilt of not being there when she passed, the guilt of not being able to go the day before because I had flu and they wouldn't let me up there, the guilt of leaving her with carers that didn't look after her, and then that starts the anger, and it all starts it off, right? So I stopped it in its tracks by looking at a photo and taking my memory and my thoughts to that day. And that day we went up to the moors in Devon. We had the most beautiful Devon's, you know, tea, cream tea. We had a lovely time, went back, and then we went down to a little camp, you know, like the caravan camps had like a little show and bingo, and then that was my thought process, and then I went back to sleep. And then every time it happened, I would put stop in my head with an exclamation mark. I pictured that and then looked to that photo. So in the end, my thought process to my mum automatically connected with that photograph and the memories of that day. Keep working it. It won't happen all the time because you're grieving, remember, but it will start to switch over to happy memories or a happy time with that person. This is why I think I love Tinkerbell so much. You know, like, oh my God, we're talking about passing and you're bringing up Tinkerbell, because Tinkerbell is like, find your happy thought. Do you know what I mean? And finding your happy thought will get you through everything, even like depression. Finding your happy thought. So that's what I do when those initial feelings and thought processes come up. You've got to try and stop them in their tracks, because they will lead to emotion and perhaps erratic behaviour, or will leave you literally rocking in your bed, not wanting to talk to anybody all day. So try and change the thought process on everything. Really, it's mind over matter for the first couple of weeks. You know, you're almost a robot, because you've got to do all the necessary things, or, you know, help out with the necessary things that need to be done for your loved one. So really, you are a robot, and lots of people keep busy and distract themselves. I did, which is bloody hard when your body don't work that well most of the time. But even if I couldn't keep my physical body busy, I kept my mind busy, whether it was stupid games on the phone or watching something I loved on the television, playing music I loved. Anything to try and keep the vibration away from the fact that my mum had gone, and there was so much pain and trauma in her life, and it was just horrific. I couldn't stop getting away from that. So the photo, and obviously doing things that brought good memories to me and good feelings. Music was massive to me. Music can create a vibration in your soul that basically can make you sad, happy. You know, like I always say this, I must have said it already about Bridget Jones, you know, I'm going to play this musical by myself just to set me up. And it does, it sets you up. So I used to play things like Grease, because that's one of my most favourite tunes, Ghost, Dirty Dancing, oh my God, the songs, and watching the film. I used to watch that with my mum, so it was a happy memory. You know, Notting Hill was another one with my mum. And so I was trying to find ways to celebrate her life and try and embrace the memories rather than go through that last bloody week of her life, which was doing my head in. So try and do things like that. It is bloody hard, but even if you just do one of these things, it's going to help, okay? The other thing is as well is that I actually took some of my mum's hair. Because I just felt like, again, it would be a physical connection. Don't get me wrong, I know she's up there and it's all great, but still a human with human emotion that's grieving. And you know, weirdly enough, I've just realised I'm doing it. I'm rubbing the locket. I got us all lockets, all my family, and they've got a lock of hair of my mum in there. And I got it for my sister-in-law, and it's just nice comfort, really. You know, I've also got a top of hers that I cuddle if I need to. And also we got all the, like, you know, my niece's little bracelets with Nanny and a heart on. And I've got my nephew, again, you know, another little something. He had a little amethyst stone that he wanted that reminds him of Nan. And we've also, I'll tell you what else is really good, is on eBay I found these bangles, and we've got to get them done actually. I found these bangles and they're hollow, and you can put the ashes in, and then it says something like "in my heart forever," and it's a really lovely bangle, like a silver bangle, and we're going to get that. And they're just little things, because what happens is when you lose them physically, you still need physical reminders of their passing, you know, and I still do. And so those are great for me, because I've got mum's ashes in a bracelet on my wrist that I'll put on forever, and I've got her hair here, so that's lovely. And then I just talk to her all the time and nag her. She's going to get no peace up there, I'm telling you. So, yeah, thought process and trying to get a positive attitude towards it is really going to help you in the long run. Also, later on, after you've got through the funeral, I want to talk about the funeral, even if you're a believer or not. Most of the people that come to me, spirit people, when I've done messages over the years, will give irrefutable evidence of the fact that they were there straight after they passed, whether it's in the chapel of rest and at the funeral. You know, one that comes to mind is, give me one, right, a little girl that passed, and she said, tell them about the white feather that fell off of the horse that was leading my carriage, you know, with her coffin in, and that to stop to put the feather back on, right? That's not cold reading, people. It was like, oh my God. So, and she said what she was buried in, what she was buried with, to absolute detail, right? And I'm telling you, they are there at the funeral. If you can, try and envisage them sitting next to you going, oh, this is a bit of a bleeding palaver, isn't it? You know, because that's what I did at my mum's funeral, and I couldn't see it because obviously I was grieving. When you're grieving, you know, if you see spiritual phenomena, you're really lucky, because your energy is so dense that it's quite hard for them to reach you. They will do signs around you, but I couldn't see any energy, like spiritual energy of her. I just kept saying to her, God, I bet you're loving this, aren't you? And 2 days later, she came through in a dream to my niece, my little niece, saying thank you for the funeral. It was absolutely brilliant. I did a poem called The Seasons of Mum, and she said the words were beautiful. It was a lovely day. Thank you so much. And it was just another acknowledgement that she knew everything that had gone on. Since then, I've had some amazing evidence from a medium friend of mine that absolutely sealed the deal. I might as well tell you. When my mum first passed, I took the bracelet, my mum's bracelet, this one with the heart. I know it sounds a bit brutal, but the one thing I wanted to do, and it just overtook me, see this one with the heart, the silver bracelet, was I wanted to take it off because it was still warm and put it on my wrist. And I said to my mum, I want the first thing that comes out of your spiritual mouth is the fact I've taken this silver bracelet off of you. I'm not going to tell anybody apart from Rich and Sarah, my brother and sister. And bugger me, about a week and a half ago, I got a random email from one of my beautiful old students, Anna, She's an excellent medium, and she goes, look, I'm really sorry that I'm going to talk to you about this, but your mum has been here, and I hope this isn't too soon, but the first thing she said to me was, tell her about taking the silver bracelet off of me. All right, I haven't spoken to Anna for ages, obviously on Facebook, random highs and all the rest of it. Nobody knew that, and I said to my brother or sister, swear this to secrecy, because I want this to be the first bit of evidence to know that mum's over. And it happened. Then she talked about other stuff that was totally right, Anna did. And so know they're with you, okay? And I know that people that are non-believers and say, what load of old crap, they're gone, they're dead, that's it. That's fine if you want to go that way, but you know what? Even opening up to the possibility that there's an afterlife is going to really help you through your grieving process. The other thing that I've also found an excellent tool for people throughout the years, and I picked this up a lot from the police as well, that I help people with, is do a hope box. Basically have things that make you feel happy about your loved one, keep them in a box, and this helps you to kind of like control your grieving. You don't want to control it, but what I'm trying to say is have some time to let it all out, because some people hold it in, whether they're a mum for their kids or whatever. So basically get a hope box with like little bits to do with your loved one, and say, right, 1 o'clock every Wednesday, whatever you want to do, I'm going to go and share some time with them. Okay, so if you haven't got that spiritual belief, you're looking at their physical memories and what's in the box and talking to them, okay, about how you're feeling. Let it out, have a cry, have a rage, do what you have to do. But hope boxes are really good for that. So give that a go. Also, for your children and for family members, it also helps to have a memorial in your garden, not like a bloody second to a grave, but perhaps a beautiful tree, water feature, fairy lights in a certain area. Go, that's where Nanny is over there if you want to talk to her, for the kids. Or if your dog's passed, have a little corner where there's all pretty things and nice things and that kind of thing. So it's a place for you to go and sit, which isn't a cemetery, and have a chat with them. Because cemeteries always remind you of the death. And I'm going to tell you now, yes, they're not there. I don't like cemeteries. I'm not being funny. If you just passed up, do you want to sit around where everybody's been buried? No, you don't. They understand that we need to go there, but you don't need to go there, because they're not there. I totally understand it's the last physical place they're rested in, but their spirit, their energy is with you everywhere you go, at work, on holiday. They're there all the time. They are not sitting there waiting for you to visit them just so they can talk to you at their grave. It's not happening, people. And the other thing I want to say as well is that there are so many arguments of family split-ups and distress over where their ashes go. Dad said he wanted to go there. No, he didn't. He wanted to go there. Oh, what are we going to do? I've got a bit of a spoiler alert for you. They really don't care. And that doesn't mean that they don't give a shit about you, right? What it means is that they've gone over, they've had their review, they've had their healing, and their passing is like a dream. It's like, childbirth. I've said this before in another video, right? That it's like, yeah, that worked great. All they care about is being with you and helping you in the moment, in the present, right? And so if they see you going to the cemetery every single day, like that poor lady, every day for 7 years, oh my God, then, they're gonna be so upset about it, right? They don't need 6 months to come through. They can't, and oh my God, this is what I've heard a lot as well. I say oh my God a lot, don't I? It's Essex and me. Can take a girl out of Essex and all that. Where they say, oh, they can't move on because you're grieving and you're crying. What? Oh my God, if I've heard that, if I had a fiver every time I've heard that, I'd be having a naked butler and waiter now serving me my breakfast. Do you know what I mean? And the gardener. I'm just going too far with that. Anyway, so they want you to grieve. They want you to move on. But they're not going to... They're staying there waiting for you and watching you and looking over you, right? If you don't believe it, that's fine. But just think about what I've already said about the grieving process. So have a memorial area in your garden so that, it doesn't have to be the grave you stand to talk to them. So for the people that need a physical reminder and all the rest of it, have it in the garden, but make it happy, make it cheery. So, and I've had lots of people that take photos of that area, and then they get the weirdest light anomalies and shadows and weird orbs and stuff like that, because they're standing there going, what do you want to talk about, darling? Come on, talk to me. Talk to your people. Don't care if you look like a mentaloid. Do it. Have a chat with them. It's like the other day, right? My mum loved this bloody... Oh, God, she was a nightmare for Miss Marple and Hercule Poirot and all these, those sort of things. oh my God, I can't remember the name of him. He's got black slick hair and he's like a detective. I can't remember his name. Anyway, there's a new series coming on. Oh my God, Mum! I said, don't forget, this is on. You know, or sit and chat with them and go, Death in Paradise was another one. She used to do a lovely little dance to it and it brings sadness to me. But I go, Mum, Death in Paradise is on, turn it on, whatever you're doing up there. You know, I'm connecting to them. Even if you don't believe it, give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? You know, so what if you're a skeptic? Bloody do it. Who cares? Nobody's going to judge you because, you know, you might have decided to talk to someone that you know is dead and buried and nothing's happening. Try it. What's the problem? You know, reach out to people as well. Don't pretend you're okay. Don't pretend you're coping. Don't think you're weak because you're still 7 months along and you want to die. Reach out to the people that love you. Reach out to counsellors. Reach out to support groups on Facebook. Reach out to crews. There are many support groups that can help you get through this. But by you thinking, again, people stay in the denial process for a very long time. It's the same with depression. Right? I was in denial of having depression for my whole life up until I was 32, and then I thought, I've been depressed all this time, I need to sort myself out. You know, denial's as I said, it's a fearsome beast. And if you think, no, I'm okay, I'm great, I don't need anything, I don't need any antidepressants, I don't need to see anybody, I'm great, and then you're like rocking in the corner when nobody's looking, you know, you're only creating harm for yourself. And if your mum's watching you do that up there, she's going to be thinking, Jesus Christ, and then she's going to be feeling crap. You know, they want you to move on. They want you to change your lives. Obviously, you are never going to forget them. You're not going to do that, ever. And they know that. They can hear your thoughts. They know how sad you are. But don't judge your movements and what you do and think, oh my God, they're going to judge me. Oh my God, they're going to do this. They're going to say that. They're not, darlings. They want you to survive this ordeal, move forward, because they know that they're going to be standing right there as soon as you pass up. You may not know that, but they bloody do. So they're going to be with you whether you're a skeptic or not. No matter what religion, creed, belief system you have. I don't care. I've bought every single religion, creed. I've worked all around the world with all different people, Muslims, Jewish people, everybody. And I'm telling you, there is nothing different. Love connects us and it will stay with you and them forever while you're on this earth plane, okay? And I'm telling you, if you are a skeptic, that's fine. But would it really hurt for you to just have a little dip into this? What is it going to do apart from perhaps help you? So there are just a few of the things that I can help you with as a non-believer. I could go on and on and on, but I'm trying to really keep this in a nut box so you don't get bored. Nut box. What the hell's that? I'm trying to keep it in a nutshell. Trying to keep it in a nutshell. It is the worst thing you're ever going to have to go through. I'm not going to lie. It's the worst thing. And obviously grieving is even more lengthened if you've got someone that's passing with a terminal illness or someone that you know is going to pass eventually. You know, people with Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, things like that. So your grieving process is going to go on for many, many years before they even pass. So start doing these tips now, okay? One last thing for you to do as well is, if you can bring yourself round to it, as you know, I mention soul journals all the time. They are my way of coping. Every single day I write in them. My celebrations, my feelings, my thoughts, my fears, my meditations, my messages from spirit, what my angel card said, everything goes in that book. And then I look back and see how far I've come, or I look back and see if there's anything I can learn from it. Write to your loved one. Whether it be a process that you do with all the family where you write them a note, send them up in balloons, whether it's you writing a letter that you never post, whether it's you write to them repeatedly in a notebook or a journal, tell them how you feel. They'll read it. They'll know exactly what you're writing and thinking. And it's a really good tool. Lots of counsellors will tell you to do that. They did when I went through my therapy. And I hated it to begin with, but then I started writing to my dad, and the amount of pain and sadness that came out was, I was so shocked. I was just like blurbing my way through it for days. But now I write to my dad, I write to my mum, my nan, my Aunt Reen, my granddads, my other nan. I write to all of them up there. Just say, I'm really missing you, it's really shit, but I know you're here. So anyway, guess what? I'm moving, you know, and you just share your joy and your sadness, your triumphs and failures with them, like they're still here. You know, that's the way to do it. And that's what I do. So try these little things and see how you get on. If you are a spiritual person and you do believe in afterlife, and you're open to any spiritual tools, then this is the bit for you. I know I mention it all the time, amethyst, but really, to be honest with you, without going through all of the different crystals that you can use, because you've got different energies going on in individuals, the main one for grieving and helping you to move on is amethyst. An amethyst stone, as you know, I've shown you before, is a purple stone, and that basically is one of the best grieving stones to help you move on. In my course, Prism Living, obviously it's a lot more in depth than what other crystals you can use, or you can get a crystal Bible. Judy Hall is the one I recommend, the best one, and you can start doing it yourself. But amethyst, have that in your pocket, have it under your pillow. I've already told you about crystals, I think, about how to charge them, but have one of those or give them to someone as a gift and say, this will help you move forward. You know, think about that. Perhaps if you know someone that's grieving, doesn't matter if you believe or not, just have it in your pocket. What's the worst that can happen? You might suddenly start feeling better, or the ability to grieve. The other thing is as well, is that when my mum passed, the first prayer, well, before I knew she was going to pass, when I saw Archangel Azrael's energy around her in November, even though she just had a broken hip, and I showed you the photograph, I think I put it on Facebook as well, of Azrael's celestial energy, that creamy white celestial mist. And so when I had about 4 hours with my mum, on my own with her, before the family got down from Essex, because I was already down there in Halim, and I prayed for Azrael to obviously make sure my mum knew where she was. She did. She had loads of spirit people around. I could feel them in the room. So come on, Ev, time to come out. My dad no doubt was there, and I love the fact they're together. Anyway, and then I prayed for him to bring peace and calm to all my family members and to help them get through it, and obviously to prepare them for the shock of seeing mum passed. And also I knew that my uncle was very poorly, so I did an extra prayer for my Auntie June. He passed 2 weeks after my mum, Uncle Ron. I know he's okay and fine because he came through in a dream to me, which is good. And so the first person that you want to call on is Azrael. All you have to do is just say, Archangel Azrael, please help us at the moment. I really feel mum's passing, or she's already passed. Please look after us all during this time. And you've invoked an angel. It's that simple. If you envisage the colour of what they work on, he's like a creamy white, like yellowy white colour. So just imagine like a really light canary yellow colour. And that'll be him. That's all you got to do. It's that simple. People think you've got to do some ritual. It's really that simple. Allow them into your lives. Within a couple of days, you'll either get a feather or some form of angel sign that you'll go, oh my God, they've heard me, okay? So Azrael's a person to look after you and the soul just as it's about to pass. The next one, as I've already mentioned to you, is Jeremiah. He's the one that receives souls up in the quarter of the healing zone where they're taken to their plinths and they get the healing and life review. He can also be used down here by us for life reviews and helping to move forward from problems that we've created or problems we've experienced. But he also does a review. He's the being that will approach you in whatever form to say, right, let's have a look at what's gone wrong in your life, and if it's adhered to the life plan that you had before you went down. And so by all means, if it gives you comfort because you're worried that they're going to get lost, and if they're safe over, then you can ask Archangel Jeremiah, please receive my mum, my dad over, and welcome them into the spirit world, and just make sure everybody's there for them, if that's the kind of thing that'll bring you comfort. He works on a very white, very, very pale, it's like a creamy white, an off-white colour he works on, so that's the colour envisaged in your mind when you talk to him. No, Jeremiah's purple. What are you talking about? I'm good, aren't I? I'm bloody good. Jeremiah was purple. I've just saw a flash of purple in my eye. Sorry, I'm a rubbish ambassador. Throw me a bone. Purple. Sorry. Jeremiah is purple, okay? So envisage bright purple, because I just got bright purple flash in my eyes. So Jeremiah was purple. He worked on the purple ray of light. For your own self to get through grief and to get through that gut-wrenching, heart-pulling pain, it's your heart chakra, it's just ripping to pieces, and you do get physical pain from it. Then I'd go, one is for Chamuel. Archangel Chamuel is going to help you with guilt and anger. Excuse me, she works on a pink ray. I call them he's and she's. They may come in different form to you because they haven't got sex. They are omnipresent. They are whoever they want to be, and how they portray themselves to you is the matter of how they want to, you know. She is about self-love, positivity, protecting yourself from negative energy, allowing yourself to love yourself no matter what the circumstances of the passing are. And this is excellent for people with depression as well. You know, Chamiel will give you self-belief, and if you haven't got self-belief or self-love, you're not going to be able to do anything in life. You've got to be whole yourself to cope with anything, relationships, moving forward, career, anything. If you haven't got your own self-belief or self-love, don't even bother. That's what I've learnt in all this. People ask for readings, but you find out that they've got no respect or confidence of themselves. So they're like they're on an uphill battle, to be fair. So you have to work on self-love. Again, I always refer to You Can Heal Your Life, Louise Hay. That book to me is a Bible of all to get you up and running and make yourself feel worthy, that you deserve a place on this planet. So Chamiel, love her, positive energy. Rose quartz is an excellent crystal to work with her. She's just everything pink, fluffy and lovely. So go for her if you want that. She also will encourage you to move forward for yourself and not allow yourself to be taken in by other people's wants and needs, which is what you're going to need in the first throes of grieving, as well as if you've got depression. Can I just mention as well, thank you, someone's talking to me, Azrael also will help to encourage you to seek counsel. So if you're finding it hard and you can't speak to your family, you'd rather speak to a stranger, ask him to come in and he'll give you that last oomph to say, right, I need to go and see someone now because this isn't working. I'm not feeling any better, you know, so he'll also do that. Okay? Right. Starting to look like I've been schizophrenic now, don't I? The other one is Jophael. Jophael basically will help you to embrace everything completely. I've just lost it because someone's talking to me now. Oh, if it's a spirit person, I can't do that. We'll do that next time, darlings. Obviously, I'm ready to link, but it's not right for this subject matter, so. Off we go, thank you. I'm so sorry, we'll do it next time. It's a bloke, broad edge, really big built. It's been here for a while actually, keeps popping in and out of this house. I need to speak to someone, but we'll do that another day. Where were we? Jophael, yeah, again, that's a creamy white energy. Jophael is someone who works. I've done Jophael, haven't I? Have I done Jophael? Oh God, I'll do him again anyway. Jophael basically is the archangel of positivity, positive thinking and moving forward. If there's anything you need help with or things you need to work on, say, Jophael, please come and help me. I need to work on this. Write out the things you need to work on and what you need positive vibration for. Dealing with court case, inquests, perhaps someone that's going to trial because they've killed your loved one. You know, anything like that. Raguel's good as well. Power blow for justice and helping you with court proceedings and harmony and balance. Because, you know, when you've got someone responsible for your loved one's death, you've got a whole new ball game of anger going on there. And a whole new ball game of wanting to kill that person. That must be horrific. And I've been there. I was with families all the time and took them to court where they had to face the person that killed their child or their loved one. So the rage and anger, you know, try and get. I know it's hard because you'd think, I don't want to deal with that fluffy stuff. I just want to kill that bastard that killed my family member, my loved one, whatever. And I know it's hard, and it's going to take you the biggest pair of balls to actually, you know, haul in the spiritual side of it to help you. It really will. It might most probably never happen, even if you are a believer, because you wonder why, you know, this has happened to you. It's part of your life plan. It's what's been planned, you know. And even if it seems sick or wrong, that's what you ask for to ascend your soul. I know it sounds rubbish, but it's true. And so basically, Jophael's going to help you. Positivity. We're going to do this today. I'm not going to sit back and be angry. I'm not going to sit there and get completely, you know, drunk out of my head. I'm going to do this today. Jophael's your person for that. He feels male to me, okay? At some point, you may want to go to spiritualist churches. Can I just say now, people, don't keep your... I keep saying people. Is that right? Don't keep your loved ones alive through mediums. I remember going to someone who invited me for lunch, and then I found... I really didn't need to find it. It was sitting on the coffee table. A list of mediums, where they were, ratings... if they brought her son through, blah, blah, blah. And she basically just had us there to keep her son alive. And I ended up saying to her, I'm not going to give her a reading until she's done a grieving process properly. And she lost her plot. some people will seek out mediums. I wanted a message from my mum straight away, but I let it go, and then it came to me naturally. You need to grieve naturally. You need to accept the physical passing of your loved one before you even think about seeing a medium. Go to a reputable medium. Go to someone that's recommended by word of mouth, because I'm telling you, like every industry, there's some wrong uns out there that will take your money and give you your mum, dad, brother and sister all day long by cold reading. All right, don't do it to yourself, for Christ's sake. You know, talk to them, acknowledge they're over there in the spirit realms, acknowledge they've created their reality, just like I said before in another video. But just don't start finding 2-bit mediums, for God's sake. Just wait until you feel that you're ready for it. By all means, go to spiritualist churches. There's 2 different types. I think I might do a full video on this. There's the SNU, which is what I call a bit churchy. It's lots of prayer. If that's what you're happy with, you know, if you're a Christian or someone that feels a lot more comfortable with prayer and more of a service, a church service, go to the SNU. Or you can go to mediumship centres, spiritual centres that are more about, you know, a full night of mediumship or a full den by medium without any prayers, perhaps a bit of uplifting music. Sit in the audience. There's healing available there. I think we will do one. There's so much more, so I'm going to go on and on. There's healing available there. You can meet like-minded people that have walked through the doors. So many people walk through the doors because they've lost someone and they need something else to help them get through. You'll always be met with friendly people. My friend's website, one of my long-standing beautiful friends, Ian, has got the Spirit Guides, spiritguides.co.uk. All you have to do is punch in your area and it will come up with all your spiritualist churches local to you. Or, you know, there'll be help and support groups, there may be bereavement groups, but they will help you as much as they can. It's not all about just getting a message from your loved one. There is a support mechanism there in the spiritualist churches. You can sit and have a cup of tea, you can sit and have a cake, you know, find people that are there for the same reason. So perhaps give that a go as well. Also, as I said, you know, when I said earlier about me seeing a photo of my mum, to stop the feelings, the thoughts, feelings, emotions, behaviour, but you know, it's kind of like CBT, isn't it? Cognitive behavioural therapy. You're stopping your mind from going into their passing and the grief that contains there. So, because when you would actually grieve anyway, this is just trying to stop your mind from doing it 24/7. Now, of course you're going to think of it and cry and grieve, but this is just to try and manage it a bit better so you can cope a bit better. Wonder where they are, wonder what they're doing. So, as I said before, so many people come through with their reality, you know, the reality of what they want to be doing. Someone just emailed me recently and said that she'd just dreamt that she'd always wanted to buy a BMW and go and travelling. Right, it's all she ever wanted to do, a convertible BMW, and she had a dream, and she was in this silver blue BMW convertible with the sun and wind in her hair, driving along in California, going, woo, I'm doing it, you know. And it happens with readings for me. I say, why are they sitting on a boat? Why are they in a castle? Go, oh my God, they always wanted to do that, or they did it all the time. So they'll create the reality. So try and think of, rather than them dead, bloody buried 6 foot under, or ashes sitting in a vase on your bookshelf, not knowing what to do with them, think, oh my God, they're going to be doing this now. Oh, they would have seen Nan. Oh my God, they would have seen our dog Barney, or whatever, you know. Just think, try and create the thought process of celebrating and being joyful of where they are, rather than thinking of where they physically are, in an urn or, you know, under the ground. Don't do it to yourself. Try and envisage where their soul is now. And with you as well, don't forget. They're not just going to go up there and forget about you and go on holiday for the rest of their life. They're going to come down and see you as well. And again, talk to them, embrace them in your life. Oh my God, do you remember this film, Mum? I do it all the time. I don't care if she's here or not. It makes me feel like she is, and that's the important thing, to help you get through it. Again, write letters to them. When I said about writing letters, also write in there your invocations. I asked for Archangel blah 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 to come and help me. I asked for this. Write out, perhaps if you've got angel cards, you know, you pull angel cards out. Mine are never ever wrong. For the amount of years I've done them, they always answer what I ask. You know, flick the angel cards, write in your soul journal about what they've said. Absolutely perfect. Soul journals, to me, for spiritual people, it's a given. It should be your ultimate tool to keep with you, to deal and cope with everything, you know. Even if you've had a row with someone, write it out, get it out of your system so it's done, you can go to sleep for the night. So make sure you do that. The other thing as well is that I find, which has helped me a lot, is meditation. One, it can still your mind and your energy and relieve stress and anxiety throughout the grieving process. 2, it can possibly even end up you meeting your loved one, but that'll only be when you're ready. So don't push it. Don't go up there expressly to see your loved one. All right, just relax. And also it raises your vibration, and this is what I absolutely 100% recommend for people that have got depression. Meditation, it doesn't have to be sitting there dedicated on, because most of us with depression think, I can't be arsed, it's a load of rubbish, right? Because you're too knackered, you're too listless, you don't want to do anything. So even just sitting there reading a book, I know it sounds weird, or watching the birds, which I do a lot. I've got feeders right outside my door so I can watch the birds. All it is about you closing your mind down to your earthly worries, fears, thoughts and sadnesses. That is meditation. Because when you close your mind, you suddenly get thoughts of inspiration that may turn into something that helps you in your life. You may even get, thoughts of encouragement. So meditation could be swimming, it could be fishing. It doesn't have to be sitting there ooming it out for an hour, listening to someone droning on. You know what I mean? Talking of droning on, make sure any of the music you listen to, you love. If you're sitting there listening to something that's doing your head in, you ain't going to get anywhere. Raising your vibration is so important, because on top of that, your loved ones can reach you, not particularly, the whole focus is for a reunion, but they can bring people to you that will help you. Like if you had an aunt that was really good at coping, they may bring her essence down to say, come on, get off your ass, go and do something, So the more you raise your vibration, the more they can reach you, because when you are depressed and grieving, your energy is so close, you ain't going to feel a thing. I didn't for that black year, and you just feel like shit, basically. And so they're trying to knock into this hard nut of dense energy, and you are basically not letting them, and you don't want them to, quite rightly, because you are sad, you're grieving, you're devastated. But all these tiny little things just raise your vibration a lot, because there's such a light energy. They can come down and influence and help you. Okay, it's the only reason. But don't beat yourself up if you stay like that for a couple of months, because then you go into guilt and anger again, and we all go through the grieving model again. So just make sure that you just try it. And if it don't work, try it again the following day. I've done some guided meditation CDs, and I find that at the moment, because I'm still all over the place, because I have a lot of pain, I lay there and think, I can't do this on my own. So I found a beautiful, if you look on my YouTube, on my like videos, or subscribe videos, there's a meditation. I love her voice. Oh my God, do I love her voice. It's got a little curve, like a West Indian curve, and I love the West Indian accent. Oh my goodness, I must have lived there at some point in a previous life. And so, this Caribbean lilt, I'm sure it's Caribbean lilt on it, and her mind visualization exercises and meditations are brilliant. Have a look. It is on my liked videos and subscriptions, and have a little go. What's the worst can happen? Find yourself a quiet little room, get yourself ready and go for it. Again, at some point I'll be doing a video on how to meditate and how to get the best out of meditation, because again, I'll be going on forever otherwise. So basically, you've looked at the meditation part of it, raising your vibration. The other thing I do, which I mentioned earlier on in the video, is I always in the morning, 3 things I'm grateful for. And I also say thank you for being with me to the angel realms and the spirit world, right? Whether I feel they're here or not, it doesn't matter. I'm acknowledging them. By doing that, you're still keeping your vibration raised, okay? 3 things you're grateful for. So remember, mine was a bird song, my babies, and the fact that I'm moving and it's all going smoothly. 3 things you're grateful for. Again, set your mindset for the day. My Juliana, excuse me, it's the energy going through, it makes me burpy, always said to me, you can either choose to live in the oasis or choose to live in the desert. Which one do you want? In a meditation once. And if you choose to be miserable and choose not to move forward or fight your depression or your grieving, and you just want to sit there in your own crap and stay there, that's what you'll do. So you'll sit in that desert and you will suffer. However, if you want to have a little dip in the pool, have a little cocktail and embrace the heat, but it's all covered with beautiful palm trees and you're getting there, but you're still needing the rest, then you do that. So by just clicking off the day with 3 things you're grateful for puts you in a positive mood straight away. That positive thought leads to emotion. You think, oh, I'm really happy for that. You can hear the birds now, right? Hopefully, amongst all the tractors going past. And then I think, I'm going to put some music on. Right? So I put on Alexa some music that makes me happy. And I thought, I'm going to have a cup of my my chai tea, and I'm going to do a video to help people. right? What if I'd woke up with my pain, my exhaustion, my eyes are really sore at the moment, my eye sockets are hurting, and all the other stuff, all the other symptoms, and gone, it's shit. It's sunny, I should be out running, I should be out going to the seaside, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. Then what's that going to do? I'm going to lay here and think, right, worth doing anything then, is it? Hate the world, hate my life. So where does that get me? Can you see the difference in what 3 little thoughts got me up doing? Do you know what I mean? And so think very carefully about what you allow in your mind. I remember Julianus when I was channeling him once, and he spoke in medieval Italian, and I didn't have a clue what he was saying, and I had it translated, and he said to me, the most powerful thing in your head is the seed that is your mind. I can't remember what it is in. I've got it somewhere written, but he said it in Italian. I spoke in Italian. I only know ciao and pizza and bella and prego. That's about it. And that to me is always stuck in my mind. 1, because I don't know how to speak Italian, and it was absolutely unbelievable he did it. But 2, because he was right. Everything that you can create is from here. And that's why I cosmic ordered my house. I wish we could do one on cosmic ordering, couldn't we? That'd be a good one for people with depression. So we might do that next, actually. Cosmic ordering and laws of attraction. I think we'll do that. You know, these are only a few tips because we're now into 46 minutes, which is quite a long time. So if you are, this isn't a plug, for God's sake. It's just that all of my coping mechanisms and tools I've used to get me into this wholesome state I'm in now. Wholesome, you know what I mean? Content state I'm in now, even though, you know, I haven't really got much of a life, physical life out there. I've done in my Prism Living course. It's an online course which is 7 weeks. Obviously I'm there to mentor you if you've got any questions, and it just shows you how to cope and how to get you in a better frame of mind to move forward from whatever it is, depression, coping with loss, or if you just want to get on a spiritual path, it gives you the tools to get on that spiritual path so you can understand what it's all about. So these people saying it's all well and good, but how do you start it? All you got to do is just go, can you come and help me? And that's starting it. Having a little meditation, that's starting your path. And I'm telling you now, my next book's going to be me, as in ME, myself and I, Diary of a Psychic, and it will show you how they got me from wanting to die every day to being the most content person I could ever be. As I say, now and then, you know, my friend Nikki will know, I just go, I've had enough, I'm in so much pain, you know, I do get it because I'm a human, for God's sake, but I pull it back. I don't stay in it for months and months. I pull it back. And that's what I want to help you all do. Depression is the worst thing you could possibly have, because everybody gets a bit stigmatised and scared by it. And do you know what? It's just the same as having a cough that won't go away. You can take the medicine to take that cough away. You can take the medicine to get that depression out of your life, because that will keep you stuck for the rest of your life if you allow it. So I don't want to go on and on and on, but I really hope this has helped you. If you want to have a look at the Prism Living course, it's on my website under shop page, I think. And it really does help. Everybody that so far has done it, it's changed their lives, and I didn't think it would, because I've got a tiny bit of confidence issues with all this. I'm like, wow, really? And they're like, oh my God, you don't know what it's done. And I'm like, thank God, that's all I care about. So anyway, I hope these little tips have helped you. Obviously, there's hundreds of thousands of tips I'm going to help you with, but I don't want to do them all in one video, because you're almost going off to sleep now, want a cup of tea or busting for a wee. So thank you for watching these videos. Please subscribe to the channel. If you're interested, share them to people that need help and need to hear all this stuff. And also, you know, like my videos. Any comments you want to make or anything you'd like to hear me talk about, please do. Thank you for paying attention to everything I do and listening. It means the world to me, because this to me is an outlet to be able to help, and that to me gives me a sense of humbled happiness and an overwhelming feeling of joy that I can actually still do something, even though I'm in my Mickey Mouse, my Minnie Mouse, my Minnie Mouse night dress, sitting in my bed. I haven't even brushed my hair again. I haven't even brushed my teeth yet. Too much energy. Anyway, have a lovely day, and thank you for listening. Take care of yourselves, and if there's anybody I can help who's going through grieving, please just drop me an email or leave a comment on here, and I'll do anything I can to help you. Take care now. Bye.